Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews. And this episode, we will be looking at NoDa's Sticky When Wet India Pale Ale. All right, so NoDa is out of somewhere in Charlotte, North Carolina. There we go. This is courtesy of Tresnor. Just got this box in from him. You've seen a couple of reviews on the Wicked Weed Red Angel and Monstro. Sorry, long day. Also from NoDa. So this will be the second NoDa beer this weekend. Yeah. So, little description. Let's go ahead and read it. We brewed this beer one day after the hops were harvested, as fresh and sticky as you can get. This wet hopped beer has an assertive bitterness balanced with bright aroma and flavors of peach and grapefruit, derived from heavy additions of Citra and Mosaic. 6.31% alcohol by volume, and I believe there's a can date of October 6th, 2016. Holy shit, October 6th? Wait. Oh, October 6th. God, I'm thinking November. I thought it was today. So it's a month old, which is pretty awesome. And it has a hashtag show your cans, craftfreedom.org. Interesting. So I have not had a wet hopped ale in a long time. I want to say since like the Sierra Nevada wet hopped ales. Most things these days are, if they're not dry hops, it's just hopped in the, it's not hopped in the, they don't really use wet hops, just because it's so, they limited, they pick them fresh off the season like that. Most of the stuff you're getting pellets or dried hops or things like that. I said dry hops, but anyway. So I've never had this beer. I've had their flagship IPA, which is escaping me right now, and I know I'm gonna think about it probably after this, or have to look it up because it's gonna drive me crazy. Anyway, I'll ponder that and maybe I'll think of it by the end of the video. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it and see what we think. I've been craving something hoppy recently, so this should hit the spot. Alright, plenty of carbonation. Alright, pours out, slightly hazy. It's probably more so of a chill haze because there is a bit of translucent quality to it here. Of course, you couldn't see that through here, but I could see it. It might be a little hazy as it warms up, here, but it's got some chill haze. It'd pour it right out of the fridge. I like my IPA, it's pretty cold. Poured a nice big head, fluffy white head. Pale, very pale straw color. A little bit of yellow to it, but yeah, pale straw is kind of the thing here. So, check out the aroma. Oh yeah, that smells awesome. Getting some nice citrus, some nice floral components, a bit of a dank-like quality to it, but it's got some lighter fruit notes as well. I'm getting, I would say, maybe a hint of mango, maybe a hint of a guava or lychee. And a bit of stone fruit there. And that mentions peach. I don't know if I want to say peach. I think maybe more a little bit of apricot. I just don't really get peaches from most of these IPAs that mention peach. Yeah, it smells awesome. It's citrusy. There's a light tropical thing going to it. A bit floral, a bit dank. Really, really nice. Definitely been... it smells awesome right now. I've been craving an IPA. I can't remember the last time I had one, so let's dig into it. Cheers. Yeah, it's good. Definitely get a bunch of citrus. I'd say maybe some navel orange, some grapefruit. A nice kind of a light bready malt character to it. just a bit. It's not too, you know, I'm not gonna say it's malty, but it, you know, balances out those hops a little bit. A very light tropical note, maybe less so on the taste. Citrus is what's kind of hitting big here. You know, maybe a hint of that apricot, but really the citrus is the star of the kind of those, you know, fruit like flavors, I guess you get. It has a very, very assertive bitterness to it, actually. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's too bitter, but this, I mean, it hits hard at first and it lingers on throughout. This is pretty bitter. You know, it does say have assertive bitterness, so they're spot on there on the those tasting notes. The bitterness actually reminds me a bit of some of the brash hoppy beers that are just really assertive like that. But it's very, very light in flavor, you know, very light citrus. I mean, you got that grapefruit in there, and then some of the navel orange, a bit of stone fruit, a little bit of tropical fruit there. This is definitely, to me, more of West Coast style. It's got hints of those kind of New England style there. I mean, it's got some of the, you know, the lightly tropical stone fruit type notes to it. Definitely more of a West Coast beer, although the pale malt is nice on it. You know, everybody goes crazy, of course, over the New England style beers, and I love them as well. But I still, of course, do enjoy West Coast style IPAs, especially when they have a pale malt base like this. You know, the caramel malt bases I'm not too big into, but you know, throw any of that kind of stuff on a pale malt base, and you know, it's fantastic. It could just be straight citrus on pale malt. Tastes awesome. So, let's see. Talk about the mouthfeel here. Carbonation spot on. I'd say, you know, it is where it needs to be for an IPA. Not, you know, I don't like overcarb IPAs. I wouldn't say it's low carb. It's probably right in the middle there. Body is probably more of a medium thin. Yeah, like I said, the bitterness. It's a pretty strong punch of bitterness, lingers on pretty well. I don't know what the availability of this is. I mean, I'm guessing since it's wet hops, that it's probably once a year. You know, when the hop season starts. I mean, this is the time of the year in the fall when they pick everything. At least from what I remember reading Sierra Nevada cans. I hope I'm right on that. But, yeah, I'm assuming this is probably once a year type thing. But, fantastic beer. I'm going to go easy 4.25 on this. This is really good, really tasty. Definitely, you know, something I was craving. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for NoDa's Sticky When Wet. Still haven't thought of the name of the only other hoppy NoDa beer that I've had. So I'm going to have to look it up. And, of course, when I find it, I'm going to be like, oh, duh. But, yeah, anyway, thanks again, Tresnor, out of North Carolina for this beer. Very, very, very tasty. Very much enjoying it. And, yeah. I don't know what the distribution is like. Of course, it doesn't come to Texas, but, you know, I'd say comparable beers you could get here. I don't know. It's tough. I'm not sure about too many shelf things, really. Especially if it's wet hopped. I mean, there's some good shelf beers that I could recommend. Things like Derwolf or, what else? A Yellow Rose. Okay, there's some similarities there to Yellow Rose, so I think I could compare that a bit. Probably not. It's a bit more bitter than, of course, in Yellow Rose. But yeah, and some of the brash beers as well. I'd say Easy 7, Pussy Wagon, things like that. Pretty similar. But yeah, otherwise, you know, don't hesitate to trade for it. If you want to do some local stuff with North Carolina beers, this is a pretty good one. Or, you know, the other whatever hobby beer I have that I could not remember right now was also pretty tasty. So anyway, that's it for this video. I'm rambling at this point. So as usual, think global, drink local, and cheers.